GTSA Season 7, GT7 Season 1, sponsored by Sabenza. Trivs, welcome to the chat. How are you today?
That's well. I'm great. Had a good race.
You're a little bit quiet there. A little bit better.
Apologies for that, guys. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. I had a great race tonight. I really enjoyed it. Wasn't too keen on the dark weather and on the tire wear. That was horrible. These admins, please don't try and kill us. But it's good to see the people. What gets on? Good mix of cars here. Let's see. Mainly Toyota Ford lobby, so this one is going to be a great mix. It's going to give us a lot of action.
Sorry, your mic is still quite low. Guys in the chat, just tell us if you can hear us clearly. How's my sound? How's Trivy sounding?
Give me a second. Maybe let me try and switch up my headsets. How's that? Can you hear me now?
That is a million times better.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, guys, good to see everyone in chat. I see OJ. OJ, thanks so much for joining, bud. Hashtag we are pace. Let's go. Yeah, good pace turnout on the grid today. Ghost Killer there is Bryson, Manny, Steele, and Sam, not to forget him. It's a good turnout.
I did quite a few practice lobbies that Sam and Manny were in, and trust me, they're both flying, so the boys are going to have to work hard to keep up, see how the race goes.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, the teams that we got in here, it's KBR, RTA, one Lone Strangler C8S guy in here, and Pace. But make no mistake, they might be teammates, but the elbows come out in these races, man. It's just some exciting stuff.
Of course, it's definitely going to be a good one tonight, judging by our races. Good fun. A little bit of darkness at the end can be quite tricky, but these guys, I'm sure, with their Pool 1 standards, will manage it quite well. Last week we had a very unusual race. It was RBS that ended up taking it after an epic battle with the SMP3 Pro. SMPs can't make it tonight. We had 3 races so far. The first 2 were won by KBR. Which KBR? KBR Wolfie, there we go. KBR Wolfie winning the first 2, and then RBS winning round 3. So who's your money on tonight? I'm sure you're going to say a pace boy.
Look, because I've been practicing with the guys, Sam, with his strategy and his excuse the pun, his pace, it's definitely a big contender. But again, KBR RBS, this man just finds a way to squeeze in and show us that, you know, all of our predictions, stuff like we say, he's just gonna put balls to the wall, get that podium, and surprise everyone in the back as well. Eco Boost as well, I think he might be able to surprise us here. Jean Ali always throws in some great stuff. Don't knock out Wolfie as well. Man, Pool 1 is always so hard to call this. I mean, how many times have we made a prediction and it's gone completely out?
I know it's still early, but we're looking at my teammate RTA Stignator, and he is currently on pole, so there's another one to throw in the mix. Maybe he can do a better job with the Subaru than I can. Saying that, though, Ghost Killer Pace goes first. We've got KBR Eco Boost. He did a great job in the first race, his first Pool 1 effort. He's currently 3rd at the moment, with 4 minutes to go in qualifying. RBS 4th, Wolfie 5th. Wolfie's always a dark horse. He likes to start 4th, 5th, and then suddenly surprise everyone. KBR Hollywood
rack up those points for climbing.
Yeah, definitely. Most overtakes. Mr. Branovain in a very yellow-looking Mercedes tonight. What do you think of that? We're always going to go to the liveries.
Yeah, let me actually find you there. Sorry. KBR Collaborating. Look, dude, if you miss this Mercedes and track, you gotta be blind. That thing you can see from the next lobby. Man definitely wants to stand out. Definitely showing the colours there for Sedenza. Epic livery. Oh, he wants to be noticed. You're going to notice him one way or another. You're either going to get distracted and go off, or you're just going to be sitting behind him and mesmerized.
I'm checking out Gianelli in his chrome samurai styled GTR, looking great. Awesome livery there. You're still running a Toyota 86. I'm sure who was responsible for that livery.
That would be me, sir.
That would be a Trivs one special. Sam in the same one was slightly different. I can't see. Same.
Sam was running a BMW, so his one was definitely different.
That livery is epic.
Yeah, Sam's livery is always stunning.
I'm enjoying the chrome there. I'm also wondering how the BMW is going to be. It's one of the cars I haven't seen on track this week. Jean running the Porsche. I had a Porsche in my lobby. We were battling for third. I had a nice little gap until the darkness fell, and then I couldn't see where I was going. So yeah, Porsche there. We got Canals in the Subaru as well. Just looking through, a couple guys chilling in the pits at the moment. With 2 minutes left, we've still got Stignator, or Ghost Killer Stignator, EcoBoost as your top 3. Just watching a few guys here. While we watch the last lap or two, how about giving us your thoughts on the combo? Tell us what you liked, what you didn't. Lots of people maybe didn't get to drive it, so let's hear how it went.
Look, last week when this combo was announced, I was really excited because, I mean, Dragon Trail Seaside, it's such an amazing track. It tests your car out, tests the driver skill as well, and it shows how clean you can race, because it is close racing and it is very difficult to get a clean overtake here when you are being competitive. But unfortunately, we had this massive update today with GT7, and the tire went right out the windows. A lot of the guys that have been practicing alongside us, and that's myself included, when we were racing here, when we were practicing and doing our stints and strategies, everything got dumped as soon as this update came out. And I see Rian is agreeing with me that it definitely threw a lot of people for a loop. No one expected it, nobody realized how bad it was going to be. I mean, myself, I was running blind, and I sort of had to figure out what's going on the fly for our race. Not the greatest of starts, not the greatest of efforts, but it is what it is, man. I'm not sure we can do about that.
At the end of the day, it was still great. Great to have you with
100%.
us. The Stignator going fastest, Ghost Killer second, EcoBoost third, Wolfie fourth, C8 fifth, Superman 6th, and Branavane 8th. One thing I must say about this combo is the Subaru compared to the Toyotas and a few of the others were quite heavy on tyres. So they did have some good pace, but you had to be able to keep your tyres going.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to show the skill of the drivers, and I think we have to admit, historically, Sam has shown us time and time again how he is king of fuel saving and tire saving as well. So that's going to play a major role in this race.
Well, the king of tire saving, another one is Yastiel. It's another one of your pace boys that like to go on economy mode.
Definitely. And it always stuns me, man. I mean, as one of the lower pool guys, always like to fight and for the Oaks to be consistent yet still keep their tires in fuel, I mean, come on, do you really need that?
Just looking at the four-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive, some of the more powerful rear-wheel drive just smoke those Toyotas off the line there. C8 and Yanali going off on the first turn. Sure if there's contact there or anything. I need to exit because it's not letting me change views. So we've got Ghost Killer Pace in the lead at the moment, Stignator second, EcoBoost third, Hollywood, Wolfie, Ranavane just going past Wolfie at the moment. We've got quite a few guys making moves down into the hairpin. Looks like a little bit of contact there with one of the pace boys and I think Canals. Dynamic John. Supermany was the one that got... Supermany, I think, was the one that had contact with Colonel Subaru there. And then Jan Ali catching up at the back after that early incident.
Oh man, it's one and so much
chaos out there.
Guys in the chat, let us know your predictions for this race.
Looking to
win, and also how did your race go?
Yeah. Looking at the front, Ghost Killer's getting a little bit of a gap. EcoBoost and Stignate having a little bit of a touch into the last turn there. Then you've got Hollywood fifth, Runaway, Wolfie, Sam. We are still going into pits to get off his hard on lap 1. Looks like Supermany doing the same in the background. You know, this is all about how you split the race, how fresh you can keep your tyres. You can see Ghost Killer and EcoBoost starting on the softs, Stignators on the medium, the hards. Hollywood's on hards, Runaway, and I'm just going to see the next down softs is Kernels in 8th place. Henny's on softs, Jan Ali, and then you've got Jastil and Manny fitted already, they are down to the softs. So most of the guys starting on hards is just those 3 or 4 that decide to go soft, and they, like Ghost Killer, are trying to get away at the front, open a gap.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he's going to have to use hards now.
Either knock out those hards now, get it out the way, get the requirements done and dusted, or stick with it, make sure you make the most of your fuel in the first stints, and then hammer down for the rest of the race. But again, like we said, you gotta keep calm on this, you gotta maintain your fuel, maintain your tires. That's the way to win this. It's gonna be exciting to see how the boys do it in this round of GTSA.
Definitely. So we've got first hard runner Stignator, then Hollywood, and Runaway, and Wolfie's coming under a bit of pressure from Sam, and Canals tries to come through a little bit of contact there. Canals on his softs, Wolfie on the hards. That Subaru's going to really start to be wearing those tyres quite badly. Oh, and something happened to Wolfie there. I don't know how he got collected.
He's got to make that long, arduous climb back up to the top where he belongs. RBS Performance had an internet drop.
Say again?
RBS Performance, man, is typing in the chat that he's had his internet dropped on him. It's highly unfortunate, man. Sorry about that, bud.
After having contact there, looks like Wolfie's down to 11. We are still having pitted as 12th, Superman is 13th. Let's go back to the front. EcoBoost still sitting second, chasing Ghost Killer. Both their softs are starting to look quite second-hand. Stignator's got very fresh mediums still. Interesting to see. Yeah, my wear was like double that at this point on mediums, but I tend to use tyres quite heavily. I think we need to have a race with no tyre wear, so I have a chance.
I think so, I agree with you.
Look at this little pack here, 4th to 7th, I think, 7th to 8th. So Branavain's on hards, Hollywood on hards, Sam on hards, Canals on softs. He's got C8 Henny on softs right with him, Jan Ali on softs. Jan Ali, I think, pitted on the first lap. No, he was the one that had contact in the first lap. So
yeah, fortunate.
So he's caught back up to some of the other soft runners, 13 seconds off the lead. Yeah, I got some backup in the chat there about no tyre wear. I'm just watching Kennels and C8 Henny into the hairpin.
So Sam's picked up a penalty.
It does hurt you, but it's not too bad.
It's not. You are coming up to a heavy braking zone just after that penalty zone, but still in a race as close as this, half a second would be the difference between the rest of them.
We'll probably drop him towards the back of this little train of 4 cars.
Nice little battle between KBR Wolfie and Yasteel at the moment, both in the Toyota 86s.
Yeah, Wolfie hasn't pitted yet, but Wolfie was in some contact at that last turn in there as I'm watching Hollywood and Sam have a lot of contact at the last turn. Let's Camels through and Henny. So yeah, now we're trying to get involved there as well. Seems to be quite a bit of contact tonight, and lag doesn't seem too bad, so I think the guys just aren't leaving any space.
Yeah, keeping it close, keeping it tight. Definitely some popping and grinding going on there. A little bit of contact between Ali and Henny.
I'm watching Hollywood and Kernels, Henny, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all close together. We're on the 5th lap, so we'll possibly have some guys coming in already at the end of this lap. More likely the next for the front runners. See, Renovane, who's not fighting, is now open 3 seconds on the guys behind him that are all bumping each other. He was at the front of that train just now.
Told you that highlights the yellow car can do some damage. We've got some more brewers. Hello, boys. Looks like the Pace Boys have showed up in full force. No Ufan there. Dodge-driven cars. Yeah, bro. Exactly like that. There's a lot of bumper cars going on today. But nice and clean. Very respectful.
Wow.
Let's see where it goes.
Okay, so we've got the first 2 going in on their softs. Stignator as well moves hards into the pits. Renovane in, Hollywood, the whole train I think is coming here. I don't think anyone's... We've got Yasteel who pitted on lap 1 coming through. And he's been keeping out of trouble by doing that. Coming out right with our 2nd and 3rd place guys. So yeah, Jean hasn't pitted yet, I don't think.
No, John will have to go in at the end of this lap.
So he's going long.
Here he comes out.
Ghost Killer hasn't pitted yet. No, sorry, Ghost Killer just pitted.
Attack that sausage cone. Getting 2 wheels up in the air. What a sight to see.
It was fun in that Subaru, I must say, but I hit that in practice once or twice. Just a millimetre wrong and it threw the car sideways, big drift, lose all your pace. But nice move getting done at the hairpin by Stignator. Up to 4th. Obviously Jean's still needing to pit. He's now on the softs. Yasteel has petrol, but his softs are starting to get a bit worn, so I'm sure he's going to be doing a 766 or 776 stopper now. So he's basically on the same pace as the other guys, but he's got the same number of pit stops, but will possibly have fresher tyres. Let's go. Who else stopped? Sam's had a bit of contact. Wolfie's still going. He pitted on lap 3. No, he's going in now this lap, sorry. I think he's got a penalty on lap 3. Let's get that P score. He had some contact and got spun, and then Jean's coming in. First of the guys that are putting on lap 6. Sam coming through, the whole pack. All still close together. You can see about 5 cars in our picture at the moment. Jean coming out right in the middle of Canals and Henny.
Definitely showing his
side by
elbows
side.
there.
Yeah, I think there were some elbows earlier, so they're all giving as good as they're getting. Quite a few cars here, some scrapes on both sides. Looking at Henny, Kennel's front end rear fenders. Some nice battling. Hollywood now has a little bit of a gap in front and behind. Same as Sam, who's closing in Jan Ali. Runaway on his own in the yellow car. Manny now up to 5th even after that contact on lap 1. He's also on a 3-stop strategy. Yes, his EcoBoost now 3 seconds behind Stignator. Obviously EcoBoost is getting his hards out the way now. Stignator's catching Jeff Steele, who is I think catching Ghost Killer. Got the front closing up a little.
Is definitely punching up nicely there. I mean, it's between 1st and 5th, it's about 7 seconds, but 7 seconds is not a lot of time on this track as well. You want a bigger gap than that to secure it's a very well contended field. Very good.
Just looking at the laps, and Jeff Steele's front right tyre. Now that front right looks more like how my tyres were looking most of the race. I think Steele's probably going to have to put this lap, stick on his strategy, put at lap 1, then lap 8, lap 15, and then 6 laps to the end. But, great job by Jas so far. It's always that front right.
So strategy yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you can tell
after
us.
This update, it's just gone up.
Ghost Killer Ghost Killer went softs again, I think. He has pitted. I think he started on softs.
EcoBoost picked up a 0.5 penalty as well.
And Superman's gone past him at the same time.
He's realized that the penalty zone is coming, so he didn't really want to fight that one too much.
Sam and Runaway were fighting now. Sam and Jan Ali, a little bit of leaning on each other and some wheels in the gravel there. This whole train just keeps slowing each other down there, I think. Because one will pass the other and then the next one tries to get past. But as they go, they're holding the pack up. One by one, the guys front's getting away.
In sections.
Yeah.
To try and get your pace through the lap.
You see Sam's on mediums.
Hollywood makes it stick.
Sam going a little bit wide and John right behind him. I don't think those mediums are working out quite well for Sam. So they're Yastio and Superman going in, as just said. So they're definitely on the 3-stopper. That puts Ghost Killer pace into the lead. Stignator not having the greatest lap last time around. He's got a second off his previous lap. And you can see those softs on his car. They're already halfway after 4 laps.
What was qualifying thinking in this update? I don't know. Come on.
Yeah, it also didn't help that I set times 7 tyre there, but if we do a race and we have all the options available, it always just ends up being a soft push to the end. So a little bit of high tyre wear and make guys run some other tyres works out quite fun in the end, normally I find.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I love the fact that we have required tyres and the lobbies now allow us to set those required tyres.
Yeah, makes it so much easier for the stewards panel. It doesn't have to go and check when someone complains.
Thank the Lord.
Same thing with serving a penalty. Oh no, you didn't do it by the end of the lap. Nope, now we have the little penalty day, so that's great. Thank you, Kaz, you did something right.
Yeah, for once.
So EcoBoost now is Runaway right behind him in that lovely Luna yellow Mercedes. Then you've got Jan Ali in 5th, but he's in a battle with Hollywood and Sam. Sean is 8th, Henny 9th. Steele's down to 10th, obviously on a different strategy. Manny 11th, Wolfie's sitting in 12th after his crash and pit stop. Colonel's now down in 13th, just dropping off the back a little bit. he was involved
Just to
in
give you
it.
a bit of perspective as well, about 2 laps ago I said the gap between first and fifth was 7 seconds. It is now 22 seconds.
Yeah.
Just to show you how quickly things have shaken up and
So
dispersed.
I'm just looking at when I've said EcoBoost had dropped to 3 seconds behind. He's now 7 seconds behind. So Stignator ran back in the 38s last time around. Same with Ghost Killer, almost identical times. EcoBoost 1 minute 40. He had a 1:43 the lap before, but I think that was when he had his penalty. Gillibrand 39, 40 for Jan Ali. Just chaos behind. Hollywood 39, 40 for Sean, 39 for Sam. So it's up and down all over the place. You're still 39.0 and Manny 39.2 last time around on the fresh times.
Yeah, I think EcoBoost might have made a mistake going into the wall there. On 4 tires, just trying to get
It's
back
unfortunate
around.
for him. And that's the worst thing, you try to get around and you can tell everyone, oh, he's doing the right thing, great job EcoBoost, rejoining him safely. He's just stayed on the outside and instead of trying to fight, he's let that whole train through. So very good job by him. He does have engine damage, which is going to hurt him now, hopefully. RBS asking about the 180 restart. I don't know what happened because I wasn't watching the chat, but there's an issue at the start. I think it was lap 3 and he sent a message here, lap 4. So by then it's already too late to restart. But yeah, that's where we should be messaging the host.
I think it might have been a bit just a bit difficult for Mr. RBS because he said he internet dropped off, so to get a message to the host in time.
I was also wondering, a 2-minute lap for Ghost Killer, he stopped for hards and refueled, so I was wondering where he went to. He's now 18 seconds behind Stignator, pit stop being about 20 seconds, so things have changed at the front. It's now Stignator, Runabang, Ghost Killer, Jan Ali, Hollywood, Sam, Jean, Henny, Manny, EcoBoost down in 10th, Wolfie 11th, Yasteel down in 12th. Yasteel's done his second stop, so he only has one more stop to do, coming up in about 4 laps. Is that windscreen wipers I see on his car?
No, don't let it start raining. That's really horrible.
Strange. It only seems to be Yasteel's car with the wipers on there.
Yeah, well, that's very weird.
That would just be total chaos now, though. If it started raining, we've got to order.
You're still trying to make a move on EcoBoost here, coming into the second, the penultimate corner, and he makes it stay. It does have the superior tires, does have a better pace.
He's making his way through the pack, but now we've got first to third is 20 seconds. After Ghost Killer dropping back a little bit on his hards now. Remember, he's only running them now. Jan Ali on hards as well. I think he's going to have to stop again though. Hollywood on mediums, also probably stopping still. Same as Stignator in front. So I think almost everyone's got one stop left. The gaps are quite big, but from third to 9th place, it's 5 seconds. So I think your 2 stopping pace boys are going to have a good time now. Everyone one stop left, and they're going to have the shortest stint on the tires at the end. Watching in the background, you're still coming up the inside of Wolfie.
Like I said, these races are way too close to call. Stignator, his front right is absolutely dead. There's not a sliver of those tires. I sincerely hope he's going in. And
yeah, and he is. But he's doing the exact same strategy I did. Five laps, and then he went on softs. I did on mediums. So I don't know if he's going to stay on softs or switch to mediums for his last, and if I was him, I'd go to the mediums. Since he's doing 9 laps at the end here. the interesting part though is that whole pack that was going kamikaze on each other was 20 seconds behind him, and it takes about 20 seconds for a pit stop. So he's going to come out in that pack. Is he ahead of Ghost Killer Pace? No, Ghost Killer Pace is now ahead. So he's got to get past that whole pack of cars.
Stignator now coming under fire from Henny and Manny. A lot of fighting going on very behind. What a sight to see with these views now.
I see Stignator has switched to the mediums, like I suggested. He's now 12 seconds off the lead, but the actual lead is Ghost Killer, who's 7 seconds off the lead. So he's about 5 seconds behind. I'm just looking like Ghost Killer's in lap was at 2 minutes. Stignator's was a 2:04, so I think with those very old tyres that worn front, he must have made a mistake somewhere. He lost 4 seconds, otherwise he would have come out ahead of this pack, so he's got a lot of work to do. Ghost Killer's got to get, he's on hards and he's going 12 laps, so he's also going to have to make it last a long way. Looking at his fuel, I think he might have to stop again. There we have Gran going into the pits.
I think that's his strategy.
So you're a pace boys, so you can tell me. There we go, we have
just a bit mesmerized with Hollywood's delivery.
Yeah, Hollywood always throws that gold, silver. He's like the dark blue this time.
Yeah, it's an Alpha Tauri livery that he's put together, but makes it work. Really makes it.
Definitely. I remember last week on the Lancer, it was one of my favorites as well. So now we've got Ghost Killer 3 seconds from Hollywood, Stignator 2 seconds behind. He has Super Manny on softs, but very old softs behind him. Manny, I think, still has to stop again though, so Stignator probably doesn't know that, but he hides him. I wouldn't fight too hard, you don't want to lose any time. C8 Henny up to 5th, Yasteel up to 6th. Also has to stop. KBR Wolfie will have to stop again, I think. Eco Boost. Let's go through. Gran after his pit stop was 14 seconds off the lead, but he has completed his stops, I think. 588.
Sorry, it's just important. Sam, man, almost took a bit of a dive there. Not too sure what happened with Jean, but man has a 3-second penalty.
That must be pit lane exit, something like that.
There we go.
He's got Sam and Yaneli right behind him. They're fighting, but I wouldn't.
Rian is calling in the chats for more tuning. I think we need to mute Rian just a minute.
So now
calm down.
We've got our two leaders back in order now. We've got Ghost Killer 4 seconds ahead of Stignator. Stignator on the mediums, Ghost Killer on the hards. But looking at fuel, Ghost Killer I don't think is going to make the end. So he's doing a short stint on hards and probably going to switch onto the softs for a dash. So he needs to open up that 4 seconds quite a bit.
Stignator is definitely field saving there, just get him to the end. Also preserve his tyres as well.
Yeah, he went in on lap 12, so I mean, with my heavy foot I didn't have to fuel save really to do 9 laps. I could basically go 100%.
I think it's just more for keeping the tyres.
Keep the tyres alive. I think what's going to be interesting is if it does rain, I think it's normally around lap 18 or 19. So right now it's looking sunny. When it got dark, I totally bottled my race, losing 4 or 5 seconds a lap because I couldn't see where I was going. And then the guys who run racing line probably had a bit of an advantage there.
I think both Manny and Yasteel are going to be going into the pits now, both on very similar tyre weight fuels, so both running very consistently as well with their lap times. Not just in relation to the
That's going to drop them to 11th, 12th between Sam and John, I think. But then
it's going to be interesting how it shakes out.
Ghost Killer going in as well. And we called it Sam and Superman going in, so C8 Henny, when did he last stop? Doesn't look like he stopped for a while. I can't see his 16th lap, so it's not showing. But right now, Stignator with a 7-second lead. And what time he's doing 38, so if he keeps his tyres alive and doesn't drop too badly, I think he's going to have this one not wound up, but he's got a good chance. Who's stopped? Gillibrand's, he's also done his stops, I think, and he's 11 seconds off the lead. Henny, I think, still has to stop. Ghost Killer now with that third stop, 16 seconds back. I see, surprisingly, we've gone for the mediums to the end. 6 laps to go out of wrist or softs there. But when Henny does pit, he is in a strong top 3 podium place. Hollywood, Yanali, you can see behind. Shout out to Frankie in the comments. He won his full 4 race by 1/10 of a second. Holding his nerves and 0 mistakes in the 86. So well done, Frank.
Well done, Frankie. Absolutely cracked up racing with the man who's training and practicing really hard.
Every time I went online, he was in the lobby.
Yeah, man was really pushing himself. Definitely paid off well that one.
You can see 4th to about 10th, 11th. There's 12th, not too far back. So I'd say 4th to 11th, all in the same shot. There, C8 Henny goes into the pits. So we're getting to a point where it's everyone finished to the flag now. Stignator 12 seconds from Ghost Killer. Granavane, who's 4 seconds ahead of Ghost Killer, 2 seconds to Hollywood. Then Jan Ali another 2 seconds back, 2 seconds to Sam. Sam's got Manny and they're still right behind him. And they're flying 3-stopper, so they should be coming through the pack. You reckon, how far do you think these 2 86s are going to go, your teammates, flying in formation? 7th and 8th at the moment?
But I have a feeling, still Manny and Sam, as I say this, Sam and Manny are having a good battle there.
You're still doing a bit of farming.
Wolfie is on the attack, taking advantage of that. That's the commentator. It happens every damn race. But yeah, so like we were saying, I had thought that these 3 would try and team go through together, maybe a little bit of bump drafting. Not too sure how this was planned to race today. I had assumed how to chat together with one guy, as we recommended for people to do. It's really helpful as well. Yeah, I think they'll finish within the top 5, or very close to it. They've got the pace, they've got the consistency to make it happen. But again, 4-1 always confuses me. Every time I make a prediction, 4-1 decides to take that prediction and turn it on its head and make it so that my prediction means nothing. So
my teammate's making me look bad here because I've been telling everyone how bad the Subaru is, and here he's leading.
He's leading, not just leading,
by 12 seconds.
By almost 12 seconds, yeah. He's demolishing people. Look, his tires are looking really, really bad. But let's see how he makes it to the end of this race.
I'm impressed. This is lap 6 on those tires already. My right front was all red after lap 7. So things obviously got that smooth touch that makes the Subaru work. Same thing with Brunavane. He stopped a lap after Stignator. Also on the mediums, looking good. Probably the fastest out of him is Ghost Killer, but he's not catching quickly, and Hollywood's actually catching him, flying last time round.
I mean, the back of the field, yes, it is spread out quite a bit, but it's still incredible racing. I don't think we've seen one single person that's just been solo racing this entire session. They've all been Quite close, quite competitive, very respectful for the most part as well. I'm very keen to see what happens next.
With 3.5 laps left, Manny is now up to 6. He's open 2.5 seconds on Sam, 2 seconds from Jan Ali, and 3 seconds from Hollywood. So I think he might get Jan Ali. I'm not sure if he'll catch Hollywood, but after that law off, I think it was on lap 1. It's been a great comeback.
Yeah, look, it's very possible that he'll catch Jan Ali because they are doing similar lap times and they're not too far apart. But Hollywood might be a bit of a stretch. I hate to say it, he is a full pace man. But I think Hollywood is lapping really consistently. Really
yeah, but also I'm looking. Ghost Killer has taken a second out of Runavane on that last lap, and that's obviously the effect of Hollywood right on his tail pushing him. So second, third, and fourth not sorted out.
A bit worse for wear as well.
Yeah.
Ghost Killer did get later, so he does have fresher tires.
Yeah, he put on lap 13. He's did a 39.4 last time around, same as Stigmator, but his fastest lap of the race is a 39.2, so it's not like he's slowed down. Stigmator running mid-39s as well now, but 12 seconds ahead. But the Ghost Killer 38.6 and Hollywood 38.2 last time around. So Hollywood's catching Ghost Killer and Ghost Killer's catching Runaway.
This is going to come down to the line.
Supermany is catching Jan Ali. That gap's down to 1.5. I think if 2 laps ago, if Hollywood's going to catch Branavane, he needs to get past Ghost Killer straight away. And if Ghost Killer's going to catch Branavane, he needs to not get held up in a battle there. I think that gap might be just too big, and maybe 1 lap short. Again, 39.6, 38.7, 38.3. So Hollywood, the quickest of the 3, but at the back of that little train. Further back, Jan Ali is 4 seconds behind. Superman is now within a second of him. He's still 5 seconds back after he had that little penalty and farming issue. He's just got past Sam, 1.4. John, there was chaos behind Sam, John, Wolfie, and Henny, all close together.
Henny's trying to take this. Sam getting all out of shape.
EcoBoost is 5.5 seconds behind. His tyres are a bit warm, but I don't know if he was in that top 10 battle earlier, now he's 6 seconds behind. And then Camels 23 seconds back with the penalty. Let's just watch this close finish. Gaps stabilised just on 3 seconds to third. Hollywood's within half a second now. I think it's going to be up to Hollywood going for Ghost Killer for that podium.
Yeah, just it could possibly be, but oh man.
That's Ghost Killer's Genesis versus Hollywood's Toyota with the Sabenza Red Bull level.
Alpha Tower.
Onto the last lap for Stigmator. 11.5 second lead. Lots of petrol and still a little bit of tyre left. Ghost Killer 2.7 clear, should have enough to hold on.
Hollywood making a move on Ghost Killer pace, making it stick as well. Oh my god.
Just caught the end of that.
Upset. What an upset. He's going to try and fight this to the end of the hairpin here.
Well, Hollywood's tyres are shot compared to Ghost Killer, but Hollywood's shot softs compared to Ghost Killer's almost shot mediums, making the difference there. Hollywood's still in the 38s with those tyres, Ghost Killer in the 39.
They have the superiority going out to this corner, but let's see.
Trying the old switcheroo. I've got a switcheroo in there.
He did get closer, but no cigar.
I think this is a section that suits a Toyota, but Ghost Killer's still going to try to stay right behind him.
And Wolfie making a move on John as well at that same hairpin. Unfortunately,
watching Ghost Killer. Oh, Hollywood doing some gravel riding, and Ghost Killer gets back through. Superman right on the back of Jan Ali. Doesn't have any time left into the Toyota section.
Wolfie taking John onto the sand. John moving up 2 positions because of that incident.
Oh,
man,
that's the front RTA Stigmator hitting the line. I'm not sure if he's won a GTSA race before, but definitely not for a little while. Runavane coming over second for the KBR boys. Ghost Killer managing to get his third place back there for pace. Hollywood coming to the line with Manny and Yanali dragging. Yanali just holding on. What a close finish between those two. Yeah, still 7th, Sam 8th. This Sam 8th. Yep, he just holds on. Wolfie 9th, Kenny 10th, Sean 11th. EcoBoost, I think running out of petrol. He's still going, but he's dropped another 10 seconds off the leaders. Very slow lap last time around. He comes across in 12th, so stays in pool 1 for next week. And then we've got Kernels running with some engine damage. I'm not sure what happened there. He's just having a bit of fun at the end, I think.
Trying to drift it up. Oh man, I caught an epic battle between Jean and who was battling with Eddie. Jean just got clipped onto the sand and lost 2 positions from that battle just at the end. That is so unfortunate. I know we would have been there. But wow, what a race. Epic drive by Stignator. I know he qualified well, yes, but made that climb to first position and stayed there for a good time.
There we go, Kennels finishing the race.
Bryson held that lead very well for most of that race, but just, I think his strategy let him down.
Starting on the softs, get the hards out the way early on for the quicker guys. Definitely the way to go.
Stignator definitely had the superior strategy and made it stick, made it work, and showed his consistency. So epic stuff by him. And hats off to all the guys who raced today. Not an easy track, not an easy combo. Well done, guys.
Yeah, so it was, what was the result there? Stignator, Runaway, Ghost Killer, top 3.
That is correct.
We've got Mr. JOO in the chat there, Bryson.
Bryson.
Yeah, so well done to everyone. That's a provisional top 3, and we did go through the order as everyone was finishing. Some rough and tumble today, but it looked like mostly it was all good. Thanks to everyone who joined us. Shout out again Sabenza Internet. Thanks for sponsoring our season. Your driver of the day, Mr. Tribs. Almost said 2 names.
I'm going to have to give it to Stignator. Hey, that man came out of nowhere.
Yeah, let's give
showed
it
us
to
that we were very wrong to doubt the Subaru. He showed us that underdog of a car.
I think his Subaru has Toyota parts on it, personally.
Oh, definitely.
Mine didn't go like that.
He didn't just win, he had a big gap with him.
Yeah. I think a bit of practice in this week made a difference.
Most definitely.
I think that's probably my problem with my Subaru. My Subaru was playing Tony Hawk all weekend instead of practicing.
Just riding the rails.
Yeah, there's Stignator in the chat saying thanks, guys. Shout out on that win there, Stiggy. I'm just looking through the field. There's some great battling there. 5-6 cars within 2 seconds.
Yeah, Stignator just realizing the tire algorithm changed. Yes, but it did. Unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is. I think it worked in your favor today. You managed well and showed us that the Subaru is not to be slept on.
Yeah. So everyone that's still with us, join us next week, race 5, and we'll look forward to it then.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining, guys. Much appreciated. Have a great one. See you next week.